Hey guys, Abel here, still super excited about Fatal Fury City of the Wolves. From the things we've seen so far, it seems SNK is not pulling any punches, whether we're talking about gameplay, graphics, or the game crazy mechanics. But this is not what we're talking about here today. Today I want to talk about my preferred, or my hopes for the roster of this highly anticipated game. Now here's the thing, this is not going to be the preferred launch roster because this is what I thought I was going to do. Then I started counting the characters that I want to be in and with the characters that we already know are in, and it just didn't make sense. You know, we started to look at a 30 characters launch roster, which is not something you see in a Fatal Fury game or a Street Fighter game or 1 vs 1 game for that matter. So today I'm going to talk about the characters I want to be in the game, not necessarily at launch. It could be at launch preferably, or down the line as future DLC. Now I'm going to talk about some characters that have already been confirmed as well, so many of you did not know how many characters that we have so far. So obviously I want Terry Bogard, which we already know Terry is there. I also want the return of Andy Bogard and Joe Higashi. Now this trio, Terry, Andy and Joe, have been the face of Fatal Fury for the entire franchise with the exception of Mark of the Wolves, where Andy's and Joe's presence was a background story narrative. Now we know that both Andy and Joe have been confirmed. We haven't seen them in gameplay, but they were confirmed in the second trailer of the game, or the second teaser, where we saw Terry, Andy and Joe. Cannot wait to see how these characters play, especially looking at their brand new attire, which is quite different from what we've seen in the previous games. Another character I want to see back is of course the legendary Mai Shiranui. Mai has been the face of Fatal Fury and of SNK for that matter for quite some time, and not having her in Mark of the Wolves really felt something was missing. Now I'm glad to say that Mai Shiranui is actually confirmed for the game. We haven't seen her model, we haven't seen how she's gonna look, but we can hear her voice in the EVO 2023 Fatal Fury City of the Wolves teaser. Now we know that Hotaru is in the game, which means her brother or supposed brother Gato, one of my favorite characters from Mark of the Wolves, is not far behind. We haven't seen him playable, but he was confirmed also in that EVO 2023 teaser when we heard the character's voice. Gato is a favorite of mine, as I said, and he was quite strong in the first season of the King of Fighters 15 before he got a little bit nerfed. If you've been following this channel, you know that I'm a huge Kim Cap1 fan. But as much as I want to see Kim, I really want to see the return of his children, Kim Jae-hoon and Kim Dong-hwan. These two characters made their first debut as playable characters in Mark of the Wolves. However, we've seen them as background characters at a younger age during Fatal Fury 2 and Real Bout games. While both characters are Taekwondo masters, their gameplay style and personalities are quite different. Jae-hoon is a no-nonsense practitioner who follows the Taekwondo teaching as well as his father's, while Dong-hwan is the rebellious one and wants to fight his own way, and most of the time tries to not listen to his father. With City of the Wolves' amazing graphics, I cannot wait to see how these two are going to look. Billy Khan is another character I want to see back, and luckily we know he's in. We've seen him in the first teaser of the game and we have yet to see his 3D model. Billy played a huge part in the story of Fatal Fury franchise, and with Geese Howard supposedly dead for good, I really want to see what has Billy been up to. Wolfgang Krauser, another character that you know that I love if you've been watching my videos. Wolfgang Krauser, the boss of Fatal Fury 2, is one of my favorite bosses and favorite characters of all time. Supposedly also dead after Fatal Fury 2, Krauser did appear in the Real Bout series. He also had a few appearances in the King of Fighters, but we haven't seen him in a very long time. Now it might not make sense to have Krauser as a base roster character, but I really want to see him make a comeback. If Geese Howard can survive multiple falls from his skyscraper, I'm sure Krauser can survive as well. Marco Rodriguez, previously oddly named Kushnut Butt in the international version of GAROU Mark of the Wolves. Marco, who finally had his name restored thanks to the King of Fighters 15 endings, is a Ryo Sakazaki disciple, and one that carries the torch for the very powerful Kyukugen Ryo Karate. Marco has all of Ryo Sakazaki's signature moves, including the Haosho Koken. Now, the good thing is, we know that Marco is in the game because we have also heard his voice in the EVO 2023 teaser. Blue Mary. Ever since her debut in Fatal Fury 3, Blue Mary has been an integral part of the Fatal Fury in Real Bout series story and a fan favorite as a King of Fighters character. Blue Mary's real name is Mary Ryan, and she is related to Kevin Ryan from the Mark of the Wolves game. Blue Mary's story has her try to avenge her fiancé who was killed at the hand of Geese Howard. Not only that, but her grandfather happens to be the first master of Geese Howard, whom he also killed. She's always seen flirting with Terry, and their relationship is a bit of a mystery. Last time we saw Blue Mary is in the Memory of Stray Wolves short movie that was included in the Fatal Fury collection back on the PlayStation 2 days. We know that Blue Mary is still active after the events of GAROU Mark of the Wolves, and it will be awesome to see her make her comeback. Jin Chon-shu and Jin Chon-rae. Two enigmatic characters that started as the bosses of Fatal Fury 3. These two fighters grew up as orphans, bullied by others, but happened to be the ancestors of a legendary general that created the 3 Scrolls of Immortality. The two characters were possessed by 2 of their ancestors back in Fatal Fury 3, but have since been redeemed. Last time we saw the twins, they were actually trained by Kim Cap-1 and another time by the legendary Tang Furu. We don't know what the two have been up to, but with City of the Wolves trying to wrap up and conclude the Fatal Fury story, it is very important to know what happened to Jin Chon-shu and Jin Chon-rae. If you're enjoying this list so far, please consider leaving a like. Leaving a like not only helps this video, but the channel in general, and it's a great help and a great way to show your support for the work that I do to make these videos. Let's keep going. Hon Fu, another character that debuted in Fatal Fury 3. Most Kung Fu characters at the time were based on Bruce Lee. Hon Fu, on the other hand, was based on Jackie Chan. This nunchucks using character is a bit goofy, but very strong. He's a Hong Kong police officer in pursuit of the criminal known as Yamazaki. We haven't seen Hon Fu in a very long time, and it will be great to see him make a comeback. Ryuji Yamazaki. Another fan favorite that debuted in Fatal Fury 3, Yamazaki would go on to be a very popular character in the King of Fighters series. A Yakuza who was originally hired by Jin Chon-shu and Jin Chon-rae to locate the Immortality Scrolls. Yamazaki's fierce and bloody combat style made him a fan favorite. Duck King, the legendary dancer and fighter who made his debut in the first Fatal Fury game and went on to show up in multiple games since then. This famed dancer, when not street fighting, he would spend his evenings hanging out with Richard Meyer and other fighters at the famous Pow Pow Cafe. Duck King is always accompanied by a little chick named Pichan. Pichan once mistaken Duck's hair for her nest and have stayed with Duck ever since. Duck King is a fun character that I really want to see come back in the new game, especially looking at the amazing graphics. Sokaku Mochizuki. One of the most interesting looking fighters that made their debut in Fatal Fury 3. Sokaku comes from a clan of Buddhist monks whom are ancient rivals to the Shiranui. With his mystical powers, Sokaku hunts and destroys demons while subjecting himself to control dark entities. Sokaku's last appearance was in Real Bout 2, and it would be great to see him make a comeback in the new Fatal Fury, as well as to see his rivalry with Mai revisited. Rick Stroud. This Native American warrior worked 10 years of his life as a casino show boxer known as the White Wolf of the Ring. He made his debut in Real Bout 2 and we haven't seen him since. He's a unique boxer with a great design. Rick has a heart of honor and respects the code of the warrior, and gets very excited when faces a worthy opponent. It will be great for Rick Stroud to finally come back and have a proper story, as Real Bout 2 did not have a proper narrative. Tsugumi Sendo. Tsugumi is a high school girl from Osaka who was taught wrestling by her father, Kontetsu, since a very early age. However, she's been secretly ashamed of this, especially after she was told by a boy she had a crush on that women wrestlers are unfeminine. Tsugumi participated in the King of Fighters tournament, which took place during Fatal Fury 1. While she was not playable in that game, she made her debut in Fatal Fury Wild Ambition, which was a retelling of the first game. Alfred. The hero of the non-canon Fatal Fury Real Bout Special Dominated Mind, Alfred has been quite the elusive playable character. He first appeared as a hidden boss in Real Bout 2 before becoming playable and a main character to the PlayStation version of Real Bout Special Dominated Mind. Alfred was also a hidden character in the Neo Geo Pocket exclusive game Fatal Fury First Contact. He's a young pilot who flies with his idol and mentor John. His gameplay is unique, and story-wise he was inspired by Terry to take on the Mad White, who took over Geese Tower in Southtown at some point during the narrative. Lawrence Blood. This brutish, sadistic matador fighter made a splash when he was introduced in Fatal Fury 2 as one of the game's bosses. He's the bodyguard to the game's final boss, Krauser. Lawrence is considered the best matador in Spain and maybe the world. His gameplay is quite unique. He has fast moves, long range, and is quite deadly. With the City of the Wolves game bringing characters from both the old games as well as GAROU Mark of the Wolves, I really hope that Lawrence Blood is among the roster. And finally, Ryo Sakazaki, or as I would like him to be as, Mr. Karate 2. Many do not know that the King of Fighters timeline and that of Fatal Fury are different, but also not know that Fatal Fury and Art of Fighting are on the same timeline and universe. Many Art of Fighting protagonists like Ryo, Robert, and Takuma directly interact with Fatal Fury bosses. Ryo Sakazaki, who was a secret character in Fatal Fury Special, went on to play a small part in the retelling of Fatal Fury 1, Wild Ambition. In that game, he took on the mantle of his father, Takuma Sagasaki, as the new Mr. Karate, or Mr. Karate 2. With City of the Wolves looking to be the conclusion of the Fatal Fury story, it would be amazing to see Mr. Karate 2 come back, either as a main roster character or a secret one. So what do you guys think about this extensive list of characters that I want to see in Fatal Fury City of the Wolves? Is there any other character that you guys want to see make a comeback? Let me know who that is in the comment section. Big shout out to the channel's patrons and premium subscribers. Consider becoming one and getting exclusive goodies and early access. Link is in the description below. Until next time, thank you guys for watching.